How to talk to anyone in English. Lily often felt a knot in her stomach whenever an English conversation arose. The words just wouldn't come out, even though she understood quite a bit. She yearned to speak confidently, to truly connect with native speakers and express herself without hesitation. This silent struggle was a constant source of frustration for her. She knew she had to change something significant. One day, she realized enough was enough. The desire to talk to anyone in English burned brightly within her. She dreamt of traveling the world, engaging in deep conversations, and sharing her own culture. This powerful motivation became the fuel for her learning journey, pushing her past her comfort zone and into new, challenging territories. Her first step was simple: how to learn English effectively. She began by setting realistic goals, dedicating specific time slots each day to her studies. Consistency, she quickly learned, was far more important than intensity. Even short, focused sessions added up over time, building a solid foundation for her future progress and confidence. She explored various resources, from online courses to language exchange partners. She understood that a diverse approach was crucial for comprehensive improvement. She didn't stick to just one method. Instead, she experimented to find what resonated best with her unique learning style. This flexibility proved to be incredibly beneficial for her. Soon, Lily discovered why reading is so important. She started with simple graded readers, gradually moving to short stories and then to online articles. Reading not only expanded her vocabulary, but also exposed her to natural sentence structures and grammar in context. It was a passive yet profoundly impactful learning method. Alongside reading, she embraced listening. Why you must listen became her mantra. Podcasts, English movies with subtitles, and even foreign news channels became her daily companions. She focused on intonation, rhythm, and common phrases, training her ear to recognize nuances and improve her overall comprehension skills significantly. One of her biggest hurdles was how to remember words. Flashcards helped, but context was king. She began keeping a vocabulary notebook, writing down new words in example sentences related to her own life. This personal connection made retention much easier and more meaningful for her learning process. She also incorporated spaced repetition apps, revisiting words just before she forgot them. This scientific approach to memory proved incredibly effective for long-term retention. It ensured that her hard-earned vocabulary didn't simply fade away, but became a permanent part of her active English repertoire. Despite her efforts, she constantly wondered, why I always make mistakes. At first, it was disheartening, but then she reframed her perspective. Mistakes were not failures. They were essential stepping stones, indicators of areas that needed more attention and practice, pushing her closer to mastery. Each mistake became a learning opportunity. She started noting down common errors and actively working to correct them. This deliberate practice transformed her frustration into a powerful tool for improvement. She realized that learning without mistakes was simply not possible or effective. With a solid foundation in place, Lily turned her focus to how to talk in English. She knew passive learning wasn't enough. Active production was key. The fear of sounding silly still lingered, but her determination outweighed her apprehension, pushing her to take the crucial next step. She joined online language exchange groups, finding patient partners willing to chat. These conversations, initially awkward and slow, became her practice ground. She learned to embrace the pauses, the fumbles, and the occasional misunderstandings as natural parts of the learning curve. How to improve your fluency was her next big question. She discovered that talking to herself, narrating her day in English, and even thinking in English significantly boosted her speed and confidence. This internal monologue became a powerful, judgment-free practice zone. She also tried shadowing, mimicking native speakers from podcasts and videos. This technique helped her improve pronunciation, intonation, and rhythm, making her speech sound more natural and less hesitant. It was a challenging but incredibly rewarding exercise for her. Every small victory, every successful conversation, no matter how brief, built her confidence. She started to believe in her ability to communicate, even if not perfectly. This growing self-assurance was vital for breaking down the mental barriers that had previously held her back. The initial fear of judgment gradually diminished. She realized that most people were understanding and supportive, appreciating her effort to learn a new language. This shift in perception made her much more comfortable initiating and sustaining conversations with others. Lily began applying her knowledge in real-life situations. Ordering coffee, asking for directions, or chatting with tourists became opportunities to practice. These authentic interactions solidified her learning and made the process much more engaging and enjoyable for her. She understood that the best way to learn English was not a single method, but a personalized blend of consistent practice, diverse input, and active output. It was a holistic approach that combined all the strategies she had discovered on her journey. She never stopped learning. Even on busy days, she'd listen to an English podcast during her commute or read a short article before bed. This consistent exposure kept her skills sharp and ensured continuous progress, preventing stagnation in her language journey. Though not living in an English-speaking country, she created her own immersion environment. Her phone, computer, and even her daily routine became English-centric. This constant exposure was incredibly powerful for accelerating her learning process significantly. Lily learned to celebrate every small win, no matter how insignificant it seemed. Successfully understanding a complex sentence, correctly using a new idiom, or holding a 5-minute conversation without difficulty. Each was a step forward and a cause for quiet celebration. Her long-term vision kept her motivated through plateaus and challenges. She reminded herself why she started this journey: to connect, to explore, and to grow. This clear purpose fueled her persistence and dedication in the face of difficulties. She realized that communication went beyond perfect grammar. While important, native speakers valued clarity and effort more than flawless sentence structure. This understanding reduced her self-consciousness and encouraged her to speak more freely. For remembering words, she started practicing active recall. Instead of just rereading lists, she'd try to recall words from memory based on context or definition. This strengthened the neural pathways and improved her word retrieval speed significantly. She made sure to learn words in phrases and sentences, not in isolation. Understanding how words fit into natural language patterns made them easier to use correctly in conversations. This contextual learning proved to be a game changer for her vocabulary. When listening, she paid special attention to intonation and stress. She realized how much meaning was conveyed through the rise and fall of speech. Mimicking these patterns helped her sound more natural and expressive in her own speaking. Reading wasn't just for vocabulary, it was also for understanding the flow of English. She noticed how ideas connected, how paragraphs were structured, and how different literary devices were used. This improved her overall comprehension and writing skills. Lily started viewing mistakes as immediate feedback. Instead of internalizing them as personal failures, she saw them as pointers from her brain saying, "Okay, this area needs more practice." This positive reframe accelerated her learning process. The most crucial advice she'd give herself now was, don't be afraid to speak. The fear of imperfection was a greater barrier than any grammatical error. She learned that interaction, even imperfect, was the fastest route to real fluency. To improve fluency further, she consciously began to think in English. Simple thoughts, daily plans, observations, all processed in her target language. This continuous internal practice significantly reduced the translation step, making her speech more spontaneous. Her language partners became invaluable. They provided real-time corrections and helped her navigate tricky phrases. Their patience and encouragement fostered a safe environment for her to experiment and grow her conversational skills without pressure. She practiced improvisation exercises, speaking spontaneously about random topics for a minute or two. This forced her to think on her feet and connect ideas quickly, further enhancing her ability to talk in English without extensive pre-planning. Sometimes, she recorded herself speaking and listened back. While cringeworthy at first, it helped her identify pronunciation issues and repetitive phrases she unconsciously used. This self-assessment was a powerful tool for self-correction. She actively engaged with English content, not just passively consumed it. She commented on YouTube videos, discussed articles with friends, and even tried to summarize movie plots in English. This active participation deepened her learning. Breaking down her learning journey into micro-goals kept her motivated. Today, I'll learn 5 new words, or this week, I'll have 2 English conversations. These small, achievable targets prevented overwhelm and maintained momentum. Lily discovered that learning should be fun. She found English songs she loved, played video games in English, and watched comedy shows. Enjoyment made the process sustainable and prevented burnout, turning study into a joyful activity. As she learned the language, she also learned about English-speaking cultures. This broadened her perspective and helped her understand nuances in communication that went beyond mere words. It enriched her overall language learning experience. She established a routine of reviewing vocabulary and grammar concepts periodically. This ensured that what she learned stuck and didn't simply fade away. Regular review was essential for solidifying her linguistic foundation. For grammar rules, she practiced applying them in different contexts through exercises and speaking. Active recall for grammar meant not just knowing the rule, but being able to use it naturally and correctly in various sentences. Lily intentionally listened to various English accents, British, American, Australian, etc. This broadened her comprehension skills and prepared her for real-world interactions with speakers from diverse backgrounds. It made her a more versatile listener. She diversified her reading material, exploring different genres. From fiction to nonfiction, news articles to blogs. Each genre offered unique vocabulary and sentence structures, further enriching her linguistic repertoire and understanding. The power of asking questions became clear. When she didn't understand something, she learned to ask for clarification from a language partner or look up a word online. Her curiosity propelled her forward, effectively filling knowledge gaps. She started to build a mental network for words, connecting new vocabulary to existing knowledge through synonyms, antonyms, and related concepts. This made remembering words more organic and less like rote memorization. To prepare for specific situations, she practiced role plays with her language partners. Simulating scenarios like job interviews or ordering at a restaurant built her confidence and prepared her for real-life communicative challenges. She learned that silence in conversation wasn't necessarily bad. Sometimes it was a moment to think, to formulate thoughts. She became more comfortable with pauses, reducing the pressure to fill every second with speech. Her journey was a gradual shift from passive consumption to active production. While listening and reading built her foundation, it was speaking and writing that truly transformed her into a confident English communicator. She now truly understood why listening is so important. It was the foundation upon which all other skills were built. Without good comprehension, effective speaking and meaningful conversations were simply impossible for her to achieve. The joy of being able to express complex ideas, to crack jokes, and to truly connect with people from different parts of the world was immense. Her fluency opened doors to new friendships and experiences she never imagined possible. Lily knew that learning English was an ongoing process. There was always more to discover, more to refine. She embraced this continuous journey, always seeking new ways to improve her English and expand her horizons. Finally, the dream came true. She could talk to anyone in English, sharing stories, opinions, and laughter without a second thought. Her journey from struggle to confidence was a testament to persistence and smart learning. She realized that the best way to learn English wasn't a secret formula, but rather a dedicated embrace of the entire journey, including the ups and downs. Every step, every mistake, contributed to her ultimate success. The fear of making mistakes had completely vanished. She understood they were natural parts of learning any skill. This liberation allowed her to speak more freely and take more risks in her communication, accelerating her progress. Her newfound confidence wasn't just about English. It seeped into other areas of her life. The ability to overcome such a significant challenge empowered her in unexpected ways, making her bolder and more resilient overall. English became her bridge to the world. She conversed with people from every continent, understanding different perspectives and forging connections that transcended geographical boundaries. It was truly transformative for her. Seeing her progress, friends and family often asked her how she did it. Lily happily shared her methods, her struggles, and her triumphs, hoping to inspire others on their own language learning adventures and pursuits. She finally concluded that the best way to learn English was uniquely her own, a tailored approach built on experience, resilience, and a deep love for communication. It wasn't one size fits all, but a personal masterpiece. Fluency wasn't just about speaking fast. It was about freedom, the freedom to express herself authentically, to understand deeply, and to participate fully in global conversations. It was liberation for her voice. She often reflected on how critical listening had been. It wasn't just about understanding words, but about grasping intentions, emotions, and cultural nuances, making her interactions richer and more meaningful every single day. Her journey from a hesitant learner plagued by doubt to a confident speaker engaged in vibrant dialogues was a testament to the power of dedication. She proved that anyone, with the right approach, could master English.